It's cold. It's very, very cold this morning. We're going into winter. Into winter. Crashed into winter. Pretty much. Wake up this morning and it's like -2. And I'm sitting back going, yep, I don't really need to go to the toilet that bad. I'm just going to stay rugged up. Now it's not so bad. I think it's like 9 or 10 degrees. I think. Somewhere around there. I don't know how much that is. I think -2 is like 28 Fahrenheit or something. So 9 or 10 would be like 30-ish. Somewhere around there. Anyway, that's beside the point. One thing, okay, I wanted to rant about, because the last video that I got to upload was when I was pregnant, and so that's why it's been a little bit of a while since I've uploaded another video. It's kind of like a relationships video rant, if that makes sense. Now, it kind of, okay. This girl who floods my newsfeed, absolutely floods my newsfeed. And you guys know these girls. They're called the yo-yo girls, or what I like to call yo-yo girls. And there are yo-yo guys as well. Yo-yo as in up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Kind of like the bipolar of Facebook. It's just, that's what they are. That's not intended to offend anybody who does suffer from bipolar. It is just, trust me, don't start this argument with me, because I know about that sort of stuff, okay? So they're the bipolar sufferers of Facebook, and they're called the yo-yo group, okay? Up, down, up, down, up, down. 1 minute they're happy, next minute they suck. Then they're up, then they're down, then they're up, then they're down. They're kind of entertaining. They're the people that you want to just grab the popcorn out because they make you feel so much better about yourself. They really do. If you're having a crappy day, oh, just open this person's profile and find out what's going on today. Alright, let me read this. And seeing as I'm not all fancy and stuff, and I can't, do the whole video. I could probably turn the webcam around and show you, but you're probably not going to see absolutely buckleys to none. Okay. Oh my god, such a fantastic day. Had a lovely day with my bae. Him and I were doing all this and blah 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 snapshots. Okay, selfies or whatever you want to call them, where you get your, whatever the thing is where you get your phone and use this part and go click click. Okay. Next one. This is absolute crap. Why is it every time I'm doing everything and he's doing nothing, and I feel like I'm the only one in this relationship? Next one. Had a fantastic day. Me and the babe went shopping, and we went and get coffee. Oh god, I didn't realize how bad her spelling was. Anyway, okay, that's just an example. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. She checked in at somewhere, and that's like the but anyway, it's like the bipolar thing. 1 minute they're happy, next minute they're sad. Then they're happy, then they're sad, then they're up, and then they're just the bipolar people of Facebook. Absolutely love it. But there's one thing as well that one of the girls, which I'm not going to read the status because this is what the video is about, she actually asked me to address this issue, because she's noticed that she's doing it herself. And I was talking to her on Skype. I got her to add me, and we were having a chat. And she goes, I've noticed that what I've been typing about how I'm feeling is kind of like a diary of what's going on. And I went, okay, well, I'll have a read. So I added her on Facebook. We had a read, had a chat, and she goes, I don't know what's going on. It's like the relationship was fine for like the first 5 or 6 months. And now he doesn't call. I'm sitting around waiting. I don't know what's going on. I've pretty much just don't know. When I was reading back through, one of the questions I asked her is the photo that was taken like 6 months. This is how far back I actually went to try and work out something. I don't know whether it's just the teacher coming out in me, but that's pretty much, yeah. There was a photo that was taken approximately about a week and a half before they did the Facebook official in a relationship stuff. Everything's got to be official on Facebook now, apparently. Apparently you can't be with somebody unless it's on Facebook. It's like, you know, back when I was like 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, it was pics or it never happened. Pics or it never happened. Now it's all, if it's not on Facebook, it's not happened. Like, my son was born, and apparently he wasn't born because it wasn't Facebook official. I hadn't posted pictures on Facebook to say, welcome to the world. Obviously, my son's name, his weight, and all that sort of stuff. The one thing that I asked her as well, which was going a bit personal, and I understand this, is how did they meet? Now, she said to me, she's like, we met at the bar, everything was fine, everything was great, we were talking, we had a really, really good night, and then I went back to his house, and then things were going great, we were talking, we was ringing, he was doing this, he was doing that, and I said to her, I went, did you go on any dates at all? And she goes, oh, well, we went for a couple of drives, and we went here, and we went there, and I was like, oh, okay. I said, so you didn't go to dinner, didn't go to the movies? And she's like, no, why? And I went, okay, just curious. I was talking to a friend of mine about it, because I said to him, I generalized what I've just given you, a generalized overview of the situation. And he's like, well, in all honesty, he goes, if I met her at a pub, like, he goes, alright, for argument's sake, which is what we say over here, for argument's sake, say it was you. He goes, if I'd met you at the pub, and then, he goes, it's like a radar. He goes, we just go, we want that. And if we get it, we've got it, so it's not interesting anymore. He said it's like a toy. He said it's like a dog with a bone. Once it's finished with the bone, it's done. And and that got me thinking. And then I started thinking, because I've gotten, the times that I've gone out, and I mean actually gone out to pubs, clubs, bars, whatever you want to call them, I can sit down and have a conversation with somebody for that entire night. Then I won't even get their number, or sometimes I do. It really doesn't bother me, because I just go out and have a chat to somebody. It gives me a night off and grown-ups to talk to. So it's just, that's what it does. Then you'll see them down the street, and then the first thing comes, oh, do you want to grab a coffee while we're here, or do you want to do this, or we'll catch up and have this, and I'll give you my number and I'll give you a call like when you want to go out for coffee. I was like, oh, okay. And I went out for coffee with this guy a couple of times, and anyhow, never once was the topic approached of like the invasion of personal space of what majority of people do at pubs. They walk, like, guys are seductive. Believe it or not, they don't understand how much they get a female going. And as I said, I'm trying to keep this a little bit G-rated because I don't know who's watching it. But I will make it a bit up there after I start explaining this, because for females, if you're after a serious relationship, don't throw your cat out at the guy that you are interested in at the pub. Pretty simple. If you're going to just throw your cat out to people, you can't expect it to eventuate into a relationship. Guys see you as a homing in device and they go, mine. That's it. That's there in this square. That's it. That's where I'm going. They do this whole, and guys have done it before, and you guys, okay, I don't know if you guys know you do it. Alright, and I'm sorry, I do have a bit of a cold. I'm like trying not to sniffle as much. Guys do it all the time. Okay, they'll walk up to you. they walk up to you, and I don't know what it is, but guys just have this real, just, when they want something, they know how to be predatory about it. And I'm not talking about predatory as in they run in full ball, grab you, and take you against your will. No, there's this predatory, just, it's a way that they do it. It doesn't matter how tall they are, how big they are, how muscly they are, how anything. It is just, they just have this way of approaching you. And it's this real, they sit back and they watch. It doesn't matter if you're with a group of girls that all come in and you are like the ugly duckling of the group, or you are the bombshell of the group, or you are just the in-between plain Jane, or you're the person who just finished work, went home and went, stuff it, I'm going to the pub to have a drink, and you're still in your work uniform. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Guys see what they like. It's very plain and simple. They see you and they go, I want that. Same as us girls. We sit back and like, oh, we want that, we want that. That right there. That is what I want. I would so take him home. That's, every girl does it. Guys, I'm sorry, you're being judged just as bad as you judge the women. It is how it works. Now, when a guy approaches a girl, and this is why I'm saying this to you, Miss Lady that I spoke to on Skype. I nearly said your name, I'm sorry. They have this way of approaching you. And this approach is like, kind of like the fishing line, when you think about it. They're throwing the fishing line out there. They've got you on the end of the hook, they're just trying to reel you in. So what ends up happening is they come closer, and they start looking at you in a way that they know triggers off whatever hormones are just going to just want you to jump up and ravage them. So they get this approach, and then they come up nice and close. And then you've got your bubble. Everyone knows that there is a bubble. Then they'll do this thing where they'll come close enough to you. So if you're sitting at the bar, okay, like we're just going, I'm just going to use an example. I always cross my legs, I'm sorry. Okay, so you're sitting at the bar like this. You've got your drink. You're sitting on the bar stool. You're like, I don't know if you sit with a straight back, if you're a ballet dancer, I don't know. But I tend to sit at the bar like this, with my legs crossed, and I just, this is how I sit at the bar. I'm very casual when I'm at the bar, because The bar stools don't have backs, and it's like you can't lean back into them. So I tend to 9 times out of 10 sit there, and I'll be either talking to the person, because where I am or where I go, I know the people who work there. Now, you can be sitting there like this, you can be sitting there like this, you can be sitting there like however you like. But 9 times out of 10, I sit. I'm just going to cover my name on the cup, by the way. I just realised it was close enough for you to see. I'll sit there with my drink. I'll be having a chat. My hair's going in my mouth. That's not a very good look to start off with. But I'll be sitting there, I'll be having my drink, having a chat, talking to the barmaids, talking to the guy next to me that I don't even know, who's just ordering a beer. And then guys do this thing where they come up and they do this. Alright, I'm going to put this down just for like the purpose's sake of this video at the moment, because I'm like close within view. They do this. Every guy does it. If he wants to talk to you, it's this. And he'll stand at that bar next to you and he just looks at you like this. Like, and it's always the same deal. It's like the fingers can be like this, and then he puts his thumbs like near his bottom lip, or is like this and puts them on his chin. And it's always so subtle. They just look at you. They look at you, they look you up and down. You know they're looking you up and down. And then all of a sudden they do this whole, yeah, can I grab? And then they'll make some sort of gesture, so they, like if you're facing this way, they open themselves up to you. So they'll always put their arm down, which is opposite to where their wallet is. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous to say, but it's true. Okay, the idea of the approach is to open themselves up towards you. That's the idea. So if the guy approaches you from the left-hand side, look at it next time. And guys, pay attention when you're approaching a guy. I kid you not with this. When you approach a girl, you always approach her with the side that you have to like reach back. It's kind of like a girl walking up and going, hi! Like, it's... That's probably the worst analogy. But it is. Guys will always reach behind them and pull their wallet out. And then they do this amazing thing. They open it towards you, flick it open, and then pull out like whatever they've got. Like whether it's 50, 20, 10, I don't know how the currency works over there. But like they pull out the money, they close their wallet, then they open themselves back up by putting it in that pocket facing you. It's body language. 90% of our conversations are spoken by body language, and girls can't pick this up. I'm sorry. This is why. And guys, you can put a rebuttal video. I really don't mind, but this is the truth. And well, this is the truth of the way that I've seen it happen previously. Okay, I don't know if every guy in every different country does this, but I know a lot of the Aussies do it. A lot of the Aussies do it. And these guys will like open themselves up to you, and you reciprocate these feelings by basically, I'm going to cover my name up again, obviously. So like I'm holding my drink, and I'll look at you like you've opened yourself up to me. So I look at you, and I'll bring my hand down. Okay, place my drink so it is like within the vicinity of your hand that is on the bar, and I will turn myself towards you to talk. That's the receiving of the body language. Now this is where it escalates. Okay? This is where it escalates. It escalates to a point where you are now allowing that person to be close to you. But you get to decide how close you allow them to get. Now, I'm not saying scare them away by saying, well, by the way, I'm a mom, I got this, I got that, or I do kickboxing, or my brothers are like champion jiu-jitsu people. Like, it just, I'm not saying scare them away, but there's ways of doing little things that will let a guy know that you are not an easy target, which is basically what, I'm sorry to say this, darling, but you've made yourself an easy target. Because then they start doing this thing where they get closer to you to talk. Even though there might not be a lot of noise around, they're doing that whole, I'm going to make you feel like the only girl in the room. Don't get me wrong, I know guys that have just watched these women walk through the door and gone, I'm going to marry her. I will marry her, and that is mine. I will marry her one day. Sure enough, 2-3 years down the track, they're engaged, they're getting ready, they're going to start their family, have a baby, whichever. Guys can do that. Guys can pick their partner without even knowing who they are. They just go, her. Girls can do the same. They get this whole, I guess you could say, they look at a guy and they go, that's what I want. But there's a difference between want and need. A guy in the situation that you are now in, where you have opened your body language up, you're in a want phase. Okay? You're in a want phase. Now, you're wanting this guy to woo you. I guess you could say woo, seduce, make him work for it. But the issue is that, as when I was talking to you, okay, you'd stated to me he'd gotten in really close, and they do this thing where they get close, they start talking to you, they move closer, their drinks in their other hand, they start talking with their hand so it's coming closer to you. And then you reciprocate this by leaning back, having a bit of a laugh, and then leaning closer. Okay? It's kind of like me calling someone over from the other side of the bar, and I'll go, wait, come here. Like, come on. Like, now. And then they just go, oh, okay. And then they run over, and it's like, yeah. And they're like, here. And they go, what do you want? Because it's obviously a louder environment. And they're like right in your face. And you're just going, oh, we can go do this and this and this. That's basically the art of the seduction in this interaction phase. So what you've done is you've allowed him to come close to you. You've allowed him to be closer to your body. Now, girls will always do this when they really want a guy to advance. And as ridiculous as it sounds, they expose their neck. Not their boobs, not their butts, not their, even though majority of the time you don't really need to expose them with what these girls wear these days. But they expose their necks. They do this thing where they go like this. And they tilt their head in a way where, like, so, okay, we're at the bar. You and I are at the bar. I'll refer you and I because I'm making this video for you, my dear. We're at the bar, okay? You've made this advance towards me, and I go, the neck. Right there. Doesn't matter how much hair you've got. It doesn't matter how much, where it's sitting. You could go this side. You could even as simply, and it's as simple as leaning down to fix your shoe. Okay? You do this whole thing where you expose your neck, and then you look, and you sort of do this as you're talking. It's flirtation. Flirtation is human nature. Flirtation is the way. But you have given him this in because what you have done is you have submitted. You have submitted to acknowledging that he is more masculine. He's more like he's your, that's the dominance side of it coming out. Okay, you have submitted. You have looked down. You have exposed your neck. You have sat back and made yourself vulnerable. By being in this position, you have made yourself vulnerable. By looking up at him, you have made yourself submit to his authority. And I'm not talking about authority as in he's going to grab you, but it depends on what you're into. And I know a couple of my viewers will just sit back and go, really now? I'm not talking about grab your hair, drop you to your knees, like, and make you beg. I'm talking about you have given him this energy that now when he approaches you, he can physically touch you. Now, the flirtation side of it is he will lean right in and he won't even touch you. He will not touch you, but he'll lean in and he'll start talking to you. And when he leans in, he'll come very close to your face. So it's like this. He'll be here like this, and then he'll lean right down, and his chin will touch his shoulder, like not his shoulder obviously, but like his forearm. His chin will touch his forearm, and he'll look down at you. Okay? Upon looking down, you do this, and you look up at him out of the corner of your eye. You are submitting to this dominance flirtation. Now, he's basically reeled you in. Okay? This part here is coming up to the point where he can basically physically grab you now. He can touch your chin, he can kiss you, he can brush your cheek, he can put his arm around you, he can get physically close. And majority of the placement with a guy at the bar is when a girl has her legs crossed, he will stand with his hips in, I know that you can't see where I'm pointing, but like, okay, this is crossed legs, okay? You're sitting at the bar. It's very, very odd analogy here. But there's your bar, okay? Your legs are crossed. He'll position himself here, so his back's towards the bar. Even though he can still reach his drink, he's basically putting himself against you. Now, what ends up happening here is he's got that physical contact, so he knows you're on the hook and he's reeling you in. Now, when that happens, girls, you have one of two choices, and this is for you, my darling. I'm sorry, but you have one or two choices. You can deny him, or you can accept him. Okay? You can have a full session of heavy petting. You can be doing everything but take your clothes off and have you in the middle of everybody. But towards the end of the night, what ends up happening is you've got all this energy, you've got all this pent up, these hormones that are flowing through your body. He's seduced you. He's gone in. He's zoned in on his prey. He's like hunted it down, because men are hunters. Men are predatory. It's just the way it works. He's hunted you down. He's basically got you. And now it's your choice. Okay? Your choice to make a decision as to whether or not you make this a one-night thing or a long-term thing. Now, what I call the one nights, like one nights, I mean like 6 months, 3, 4 months, 5 months down the track, and then all of a sudden it just fizzles out. The long term, I'm talking about making him wait. Okay, there's this really, really great thing to invest in. It is called an adult shop. It offers you a variety of stimulative toys that allow you to relieve this pent-up build-up that has occurred over the evening. Don't get me wrong, when you get alcohol in your system, it clouds your judgment. If you know that you don't make the best decisions when you drink, don't drink. If you know that you it's an expression, you're very loose when it comes to drinking, which means that you're overly flirtatious. You could open yourself up to be put into situations where they're not the best, and they do have never-ending consequences. But you've got the choice. Now, a guy who has been seduced by you throughout the night, and this is the difference, because this guy is seducing you. If he's doing all the seducing, he knows. Like, he absolutely knows. If you do this thing called blocking, I guess you could say, which is when he comes really, really close and he does the whole wants to make out with you, you turn your cheek. As simple as that. You just smile and turn your cheek. And then if he sits there and goes, oh, hold on a second, she's not just going to give this to me, so he starts working a little harder, then you end up making him work. Okay? At the end of the night, alright, at the end of the night, you got two choices. Go home with him, okay? Or go home. 9 times out of 10, in all my experiences, I've chosen number 2. I've gone home. I basically get their number. If they're, I will not associate with them when they are excessively drunk, but I come up with this fantastic line, and it's, how about you give me your number and we can go for a coffee sometime, even in the morning or in a few days, like when we sleep off the hangovers. The hangover would be pretty cool. Go sleep off, like go have a coffee to cure the hangover, or something that is just so subtle that lets them know, damn, I'm not going to get what I want. What you have done, my dear, is given him exactly what he wants. So now, and this is with talking to a few male friends of mine as well, you have basically shown him that he can just have you whenever he wants. He doesn't have to work for it. He doesn't have to take you out on a date. He doesn't have to woo you, because you've basically just thrown your cat at him, and he's grabbed your backside and gone, done. See where I'm coming from? Flirtation is a form of seduction, which seduction leads to being intimate with a person. And that's the 3 aims. When you start flirting with someone, you want to seduce them. When you seduce them, you want to be with them. You want to be intimate with them. Now, I'm not saying what you could have done or what you should have done or what would have happened. I am giving you and I were discussing it, I am giving you my point of view. Okay? If you had have waited and done the whole, I'll call you tomorrow, or give me your number, we'll catch up next week, there's none of this. Don't worry about the whole 24-hour rule or 48-hour rule or whatever codswallop and boulder dash that people come up with of don't text them within the first few hours of having their number. Like, it's a bunch of crap. It really is. If you're going to talk to the person, you're going to talk to them. If they're interested, they're interested. There's nothing that is going to stop them from being interested unless you come out and say, I like to have relationships with elephants and trees. I mean, if that's what they're into, then they're going to be sitting there going, oh, hell yeah. But you are not going to jeopardize something that hasn't even been built yet. And this goes for any relationship, any form of relationship, really, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a long-term relationship, companionship, partnership, domestic partnership, however you want to look at it. You have the choice to make the decision there and there of what you want out of this relationship. A guy who takes you home on the first night is not going to see you as a potential long-term partner. They're not going to do that because they're going to go, she's what I wanted then. That's then. If this is 6 months down the track, he's obviously found someone who he's gone, ooh, I like this person now. They're giving me something different. If you're doing the same thing, it's like eating, in comparison, it's like eating nothing but spaghetti, okay? And I think spaghetti is a universal term, like spaghetti bolognese. So it's like eating nothing but spaghetti for 6 months. And then all of a sudden someone comes up to you and goes, would you like a rump steak with these vegetables? I home cook them myself. And all of a sudden, this guy's gone, hell yeah, rump steak. That's the difference. Okay? If you yourself, and I know that I'm using this as an analogy, I'm not saying that every female has to cook. I mean, I'm just a homebound body, that's just me. But if you want your man to come home to you, and only you, put that pot on at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon and have it ready on the table when he gets home. It's pretty simple. If you need to make a decision, okay, between sex and intimacy. If you want to be intimate, so we're over this side, if you want to be intimate with this male or potential partner or prospective partner or whatever you seem, to find out if they are interested, make them wait. Not just 2 days or 3 days or a week or a month, or it depends what you're after. But you make them wait. Let's go have a coffee. Do it in public. Go to the coffee shop. Don't invite them around to your house where you're in this situation of going, oh, well, there's a bedroom right there. And he's there. And hey, no. Turn the pheromones off. Okay? If you want a prospective partner, you need to make the difference, like separate the sex from the intimacy. It's very, when you experience it, you'll understand. Okay? Sex is mating. That's all it is. It's just mating. We are one of few creatures who mate for pleasure. Well, sorry, have sex for pleasure, I should say. The intimacy side of it is for mating. Okay? If he sees you as the potential person who he goes, I want this person to carry my children. I want to make offspring with this child. Like, I want to make offspring. I want to make children with this woman. That's the difference. I just want to root. So, want to come over? I'm really interested in this. I'm really interested in this female. Hey, what are you doing Friday night? Do you want to go out and catch a movie or go to dinner? See the difference? This type of phone interaction and phone calls and whatnot is completely, it's up to you how you see things. Men are creatures that they are designed. If you look at any male species, they are designed to mate. They are designed to produce offspring. They are designed to be with as many women as they possibly can. But when they're mating and producing offspring, they are selective, very selective of the women that they do that with. Okay? It's not just the most beautiful, it's not just the most gorgeous girl you can come across. It's not that you're sitting back going, what does she have that I don't? So many girls will go, oh my god, he's with this really ugly girl. What the hell? Why do good looking guys go for girls like that? I'll tell you why. Because they don't throw their cat out at every single guy that walks past them. They don't make this V-line and this airstrip, like air signals with the like red laser, whatever you want to call them, like the things that look like they should be in Star Wars. And they don't sit there and go, beacon, beacon, oh my gosh, you can come with me, like, here, I will give this to you. This, okay, a lot of heavy petting and fondling of the upper regions is quite enticing. But the moment that you go, take it, he's got it. That's it. If you want the intimacy, you need to form a bond with this person, not just jump in the sack with them. That's how it works. Girls complain that the guys that they are with, like they're in yo-yo relationships of, they're with this guy for like 2 months, and then they're with this guy for 3 months, and then they're with this guy, and they're so in love, and they're so this, and they're so... No, you're not. You are not in love with this person that you have just met and spread your legs to, gotten on your back, pointed your heels to Jesus, and said, hallelujah, I'm thinking of handbags. You are not in love with this person. Love is an unconditional feeling. It is a feeling that no matter what, you want to stand by this person and protect them. You know they can stand up for themselves. You know they can defend themselves. You know that they will protect you and they will defend you and they will make sure that you are safe and you are well and you are cared for and they are bringing home money. They are taking care of you. You might not have a ton of money, but as long as you are appreciative of what this person is giving you, that is intimacy. Intimacy is when they walk up behind you and they hold you. Not hug you, hold you. There is a difference. That is being in love. That is feeling that every ounce of your being you are satisfied that you have given it to this person. Being in love is an incredible feeling, and it is indescribable to people who have never been in it. And unfortunately, what you're experiencing is heartache. It's not being in love. It's you've given yourself to a person and they haven't appreciated it the way that you wanted them to appreciate it. That's the difference. Now, you've thrown your cat out at this person. 6 months down the track, they've gone, I'm not entirely sure that this is exactly what I want. So they've gone and started seeking. They're not satisfied. You threw your cat out at this guy, okay? You had said to me there would be days when I wouldn't hear from him. Sometimes I wouldn't hear from him for a week. Sometimes I wouldn't hear from him for 2 weeks. Think about it. You met this guy at a pub, okay? A pub, a bar, a club, whatever you guys call it, wherever you are. You met him when you were out. You were drinking alcohol. He was drinking alcohol. He approached you. You threw your cat out. He took it with open arms, and now you are sitting back complaining because he doesn't appreciate what you've offered him. Okay? If he is going to get basically 3 things: a bed to sleep in, you on your back, and food in his belly, that satisfies him for that point in time. Okay? He's probably sitting there telling his mates, oh, well, it's pretty simple. All I do is ring her up once a week, and when I can't be bothered cooking, I just ring her up on Friday night, and like, if I'm not doing anything, or day 1 through 7 are busy. This is where you need to think. When you have intimacy is not the person you're thinking of at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're lonely. Okay? That's 2 o'clock in the morning when you wake up and roll over and go, I really wish that person was here so I could have a snuggle with them. Okay? Depending on time differences, and I will say this, depending on time differences, work schedules and whatnot. Okay? That's the difference. But the analogy is still the same. Okay? It's not the person you're thinking of in the middle of the night going, I really wish they were here. It's that person that you could be mid doing something. I could be typing up an essay or a paper. I could be typing up, like working out my schedules, organizing the schedules for this week, organizing chores for this week for the kids. It's that person when you go, I'm going to take a 5-10 minute break. Yep. You go and boil the kettle. You start making your coffee, or your tea, or your hot chocolate, whatever you're drinking, and then you sit back and you sort of smile to yourself and you think, I wonder what they're doing right now. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder how work's going, or I wonder how they're feeling, how they're doing. You know what? I might send them a text. I'll send them a text and I'll find out what they're doing. If you don't have to send this feel of, oh my gosh, I was thinking about you, and oh my gosh, you can send them a text and just go, how's your day going? And if they sit back and go, oh yeah, not too bad, I was just going to text you and let you know, like, to see how you were doing. Oh, okay. That's the difference. Okay? It's a completely different feeling. Being in love with a person is not sitting by your phone like this, going, come on, hurry up and text, come on, I want you to text. No, that's not love. That's not being in love. That's not feeling in love. That is not an unconditional feeling. Unconditional love is the trust and the care and the nurturing and the feeling of having that person walk through that door, and you know the moment they walk through that door, you've got a smile on your face. You're not thinking about jumping their bones. You're not thinking about wanting to be with them, as in just with them. You're thinking, I want to cuddle this person. I want to run up. I want to give them a huge hug. I want to see how the day is. I want to sit down and have a coffee with them. I want to find out how work was. They sit there and talk to you while you're cooking dinner. That there, even by them being in the same house as you, You feel content. That is being in love. You, my dear, are not in love. You are in want. And that is all it is. I want him to want me. What else do I have to do? I want him to feel like being in love is being satisfied with who you are. It is being able to accept a person for who they are. You don't have to shove your opinion down their throat. You don't have to beg them for that attention. Okay? Being in love is when you feel like that you want to have a cuddle. And being in love is like no matter what this person is doing, okay, they could be, I don't know, out fixing the car. They could be standing in the kitchen. They could be sitting down on the couch. They could be doing whatever. And you can just walk up and it doesn't matter what they're doing. Like, with the exception, obviously, of in the bathroom or something like that. That's a bit strange. But being in love is when you can walk up to that person and just cuddle them, lean into them, and they embrace you. They hold you without any question or anything, and they'll kiss your forehead, they'll nuzzle you a little bit, or they'll just... That's love. That's being in love. That's having that comfortable feeling that everything is going to be okay. The moment that that person hugs you, everything is going to be okay. They're going to keep you safe. They're going to keep you grounded. They're going to keep you without any questions or flaws. When you have arguments with this person, you don't fear losing them. Okay, you might not talk for a couple of days. You might not talk for a week. You might have that hi-bye mentality. You might have this whole... You can say anything to them. Anything. And you know in your heart that by being honest with them, you're not intentionally hurting them. You're showing them this is how you're feeling. This is why you care so much. This is the point when you reach that feeling where they could be sitting down reading the paper, they could be playing their computer games, and you could have friends come over and walk in the door, and you're just like, oh, so-and-so's here, and they go, oh, hi. No, or depending if you're PC or your console, either or, they could be doing whatever they're doing, and you're not having to fight them for anything. Like, they have their time, you have your time, you have us time. When people come over, if you've got a comfortable household, people can feel it. Okay? People can feel it. They walk through that door and they go, oh, this is a home. This feels like home. And there's this old saying that you follow your feet. Now, my darling, if he hasn't followed his feet back to you, he is not in love with you. And I know it sounds harsh to say, but he does not see you in the way that you are seeing him at the moment. You are seeing him out of the fear of being alone. You cannot give yourself to somebody and fall in love with somebody if you are not happy with yourself. Now, there's this old saying, to love and lost, like to have loved and lost is better than to never have loved at all. Yes, you can love a person, you can care about them. Like, I loved a few of my friends that I will admit that they've either passed away in car crashes, they've committed suicide, they've been taken in other ways. And you feel this uncontrollable urge to protect them. Yes, you love them. But you're not in love with your friends. You're not in love with them. Being in love is different to loving someone. And you do care, and you do have feelings, and you do love this person, because emotionally, as a female, you have given him the most precious thing that you could ever give, and that is yourself. That is giving your body to him. That requires some form of care. It requires some form of heartfelt emotion. It requires that. Now, after 6 months, yes, you love him. You love him in a way that you are in need of that attention. And if you have to beg for that attention, and you have to feel like you have no other choice but to... You've been played. You've been played. Guys don't realize how much they hurt females. Guys don't realize why females get clingy when they've been doing this for so long and there's been no ground rules established. Guys don't understand it. Okay? And I'll admit that. Guys don't understand that. You, yourself, okay, you as you, have given him the one thing that he wanted most, and then now you're trying to build on top of that. Okay? As hard as it is, and I know how hard it is to resist that urge to just throw yourself at that person and you think, I just want this. But if you get to know that person, you might find that, like, what you're seeing now, if you take a step back, alright, use this as a learning curve and go, okay, if he's not going to text me or call me, I'm not going to chase him. So step back. Go to the places that he's gone. Go to the place where you met him and watch what he does. And sit back and look at it, not from the point of view of, that's mine. Look at it from the point of view and go, what in the heck was I worried about? I know when I was in love, I watched and I will admit, once you fall in love, you fall in love. I'm sorry, but it's true. That person is there. They're in the back of your mind. Girls have this way of remembering every small thing that ever mattered. A guy remembers the major things. Okay, a male remembers the major things. Women remember the smallest things that made them feel so wanted and needed and attended to and satisfied and all this sort of stuff. But if you stand back and you can still look at him and go, why isn't he with, like, what did I do wrong? Okay, where did it go wrong? But if you can't address where it actually went wrong, that's when you know that you're not really fully committed to it. Commitment doesn't need a label. It doesn't. Okay? You can move on and be with somebody else. If you are in love with somebody, it doesn't matter who else you go to or run home to or are in the arms of. You will never fully be with that person. There will always be something that reminds you of something as simple as, like, sitting down on a back veranda. Okay? Sitting down on a veranda. Or sitting down by a bonfire. Or as simple as going down a dirt road or something. Seeing a motorbike drive past, seeing a car drive past, seeing a bird flying through the sky, seeing, like, sitting down at a table that you sat down at, like, 3, 5, 10, 15, 25 years ago. And yes, I'm being serious. Once you are in love, you are in love. You have fallen in love with that person. You always remember the first person you fell in love with. Always. And it doesn't matter. They could be off with new family, whatever. But you, my dear, I can assure you from talking to you, are not in love. You are in lust. You are lusting after this person. And yes, I know that you're roughly the same age as me. Okay? I know you're roughly the same age as me. And I know that you probably don't understand why I'm talking about this and you don't get why I'm talking about it, because I fell in love at a younger age and you've yet to fall in love. And one day when that person walks through that door and takes your breath away without even saying anything, all they have to do is look at you. That is when you know that is the person you are supposed to be with. At the moment, this guy is taking you for a ride. See, what he can do is he can make you jealous. He will make you fight for his attention. He will make you do this. And you know, guys, he will do this. He will come around and go, I'm sorry, like, seriously, like, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't be grumpy. Baby, come on. Okay? He's going to. If you were in love, you wouldn't be having that argument. It would be you standing there going, why? I don't know. Like, I can't even think of anything. I can't even think of anything, because being in love is like an open line of communication, so you've got nothing to argue about. I mean, yes, there's money, yes, there's finances, that's just general banter that has like an annual fight, which is roughly around tax time, or at the end of the year, when it's Christmas time. But it's that whole, you niggle. It's like I could have done 8 baskets of ironing and then I didn't get a chance to do the dishes. Oh, what have you been doing all day? Dishes aren't done, huh? Hey, well, you get your backside in here and you iron all these clothes and I'll go out and do the dishes. Off you go. Yep, come on. We'll switch. See the difference? Okay? See the difference? The difference is, it's niggling. It's not fighting. It's not about picking a fight. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you just need that fight that you can just like, But you are talking from a perspective that you have been played. You are a toy. You are fighting for the attention of this guy. You're not, in his eyes, okay, in his eyes, you are nothing but a toy. And it's the harsh reality, and it's what a lot of girls don't understand. A lot of ladies don't understand. A lot of women don't understand. What makes a woman? I don't know. What makes a lady? I don't know. Okay? I know some of the most feminine women that will gladly get under the hood of a car and go, yep, I'll fix this. There is no stereotype on the good little housewife. There isn't anymore. There's not like back in the day when you married a person you absolutely hated because you just could, but then all of a sudden the farmhand was just somebody who stole your heart away. You were in love with that man. You were in love with that guy, but you were married to this man. And you stayed loyal to this man. It didn't matter how much you wanted to think. What you're doing now is you're staying loyal to somebody who does not deserve your loyalty. Okay? He does not deserve your loyalty. You need to take a step back and look at it from an outsider's point of view, which is basically what I'm doing now. From everything. If you have to make it Facebook official just to say this is mine and try and claim it, you've got issues. If you have to sit back and try and justify everything to everybody else and go, oh yeah, that's my man. Any girl who walks past, yeah, he's mine. If you're walking down the street and you see a female coming towards you and your first instinct is to grab his arm to go, oh, this is mine, back off. You got issues. If you can't just go, oh, sorry, and walk around like while she brushes his shoulder or whatever, if you cannot just keep that distance and whatnot, if you've got to constantly get close to your man, and guys do it too, don't you dare ever say that guys don't do this as well. Because I have seen guys, and I know guys who do cheat and who are insecure with themselves, because I can walk past them. And I've got no intention of either looking either of them up or down. But when you do look, and the first thing the guy does is to try and give his girlfriend reassurance of, oh, there's another girl, and he wraps his arms around her, you're as guilty as the next guy walking past that's cheating on his wife with like 5 different women. Okay? If you are not satisfied in the relationship you're in, don't be in it. If you are being used as a toy, you need to be able to recognize it. If you didn't establish boundaries with your body when you first met this man, guy, boy, whatever you want to call them, because like there's boyfriends, girlfriends, like I don't know, okay? But if you are so fixated on this guy, and this is one thing you need to realize. Sometimes people look, but they don't really see. You might be looking at this guy going, I want him, I want him, I want him, I want him, this is mine, da-da-da. You're probably not seeing the guy who is trying to do his best to make you realize that you are worth every second of his time. He may not be your ideal six-pack body Channing Tatum, Chris Hemsworth look-alike. He might not be the big masculine man that you once thought like as tall as what you wanted. He might not be, but he is there. He's the guy that you go to, that you sit back and you feel so safe with. That you sit there and tell everything to. And he's always the guy that you friend zone. And guys, you do the same to the females as well. And I can speak from damn experience. I know that for a fact. Because I sat back for 2.5 years with somebody and I went, they go, oh, I wish I could find someone like you. And I'm like, well, I've been here all along. Like, where the hell did you think I was? Like, I wasn't like hiding under an invisibility cloak. I've been cooking for you. I've been cleaning. I've been there as your shoulder to cry on. I've sat down and had coffees with you. I've done this. Guys need to look at it from this perspective as well. You, people in general, okay, don't chase something that is not chasing you, okay? If you are upset and the first person you call, the first person that you go to in your phone, you go, I need help, I don't know what to do. Look at who you're calling. Okay? Look at your phone and go, oh, I'm not actually calling the person that I'm upset about. I'm not actually calling them to go, I love you, or baby, I missed you, or I this, or I that, or can I come and see you? I need a hug right now. I need this, I need that. Okay? If they're not the first people, like, don't get me wrong, when you're upset, you call your girlfriends. If you're angry at your man, you call your girlfriends. If he's pissing you off, you ring the first girl up and you go, I tell you what he did today. He did this. Do you know what absolutely annoyed me? These boots were left on the floor. He walked all the way through the house. He did this. He did that. You call your girlfriends for that crap. When you've got the irrits up with your man. You get it out of your system. You sit back, and because you cannot be intimate with your girlfriends, can you? Bottom line. You can't be intimate with your girlfriends. You can't be intimate with your men. Your man friends. Like, the guys can't be intimate with the boys. When you're in a group of boys, they start, like, fair enough, guys will sit there and go, oh my god, like, my girl, this, that, and that, and the guys are like, suck it up, dude, have another beer. Like, it's just, you vent to your friends. Yes, you do have male friends that, like, as a female, you have male friends that you ring up and go, I really need to talk, but it's up to you. Like, are you willing to sit here and listen to me whinge for an hour and a half or an hour and 10 minutes? Like, there's a difference. But if you've got this specific guy, I'm yawning. It's how early it is in the morning while I'm doing this video for you, Mom. If you've got that one person that you ring and you're just like, I don't know what to do, have a think about your relationship right there and then on the spot. Because you told me that you kept ringing this guy, asking him why this guy wasn't paying attention to you, why this guy wasn't doing this, why this guy, why. And the first thing that he did, and you said this yourself, the first thing he did is he goes, hold on a minute, I'll come around. And I'll talk about it with you then. Remember what I said. Some people look, but they don't really see. If this guy is willing to drop everything that he is doing to come and rush to your aid, and he has not made any advances of the sexual kind towards you, but he's sat there and given you hugs, he's sat there and given you, like, made you coffee, he's made you feel comfortable, he's made you feel like there is nothing that matters at that point in time, but he is there for you. Okay? Think about it. Where's this guy when you need him? When you're upset and you're sitting back going, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do this, and he's like, oh, yep, okay. But yet you've got this guy that just goes, I'll come round, hold on a minute, like, have you got enough coffee, have you got this, did you want some chocolate, did you want that, did you want okay? And I bet you anything that this guy that's dropping everything to make time for you. I'm not saying that he has the time, I'm saying make time. Think about it. How often do you actually ring him and he makes the time for you? When you actually need that person there to physically comfort you. Not in a sexual manner, in a platonic manner of the intimacy of having another person there to go, I just need someone right now. Think about it. If you're a guy, think about the first girl that you call when the crap hits the fan and they're the only person you can think of ringing. You need to rethink your perspectives, your everything about your relationship. You need to work out why you're in the relationship you're in. What is keeping you there? If the first person you call is somebody that you are not with, think about it. Yes, there is best friends. Yes, there is people that have been by your side for 15, 16, 20, 40, 50 years. Okay? But, girls, if you want to bitch about your man, so to speak, ring your girlfriends. Guys, if you want to bitch about your girl, ring your boyfriends. Like, ring the boys. Girls ring the girls, boys ring the boys. If you in a same-sex relationship, like, who cares? You ring the girls if you want to bitch about your girlfriend. You ring the boys if you want to bitch about your boyfriend. Alright? That's what you do. Now you, my dear, you're sitting here chasing him, okay, possibly looking at your phone thinking, well, it's been like ages since he's texted me or called. And think of it this way. Who is chasing you? You're chasing him, okay? You are chasing him. But who is the one that is there with you? Who's comforting you, who's listening to this crap about this guy that is just treating you badly, and this guy's like bashing his head against the table, just want to grab you and go, I am here. That is the person who you need to get to know. He might not be your cup of tea, or cup of coffee, or cup of whatever, or your biscuits that you enjoy. He might not be the person that you look at first glance. Like, girls do it all the time. Oh my god, I can't get a boyfriend, I can't get this, it's like nobody thinks I'm attractive, I'm the only girl that does it. And then they've got this one guy that stands it, this one guy that takes that risk, that 1 second of a risk, and goes, well, I think you're beautiful. Like, I don't see why a thing. And the first thing the girls do is they go, yeah, but that's you. Think about it. How many times have you done that? How many times have you done that to the friend that you've been ringing up? It's just you. It's just us. It's just the way that we are. Believe me, I've heard it all. I seriously have. It's just the way we are. That's just us. That's how things are. Believe me, I know what it's like to be in the friend zone. I know what it's like to be relied upon and looked at and wanted in that intimate way. But you get denied, and then this rift is formed where you have a window, basically. Okay? And a sliding glass door. And eventually, you are going to slide that door so far shut that the other person is just going to close it and go, you know what? I'm done. I've tried. I've been here for so many years. I've put my life on hold. Here I am, and you know what? Whack. Shut the door. And then you're standing on the other side of that door as if to go, fine, whatever. You go and get in a relationship with Joe Blow, you break up, you get back together, you do this, you do that, you're fighting, you're arguing. Who's the person you're thinking about? The one person that you sat there and said that you would never need. That's what you need to be thinking about. You're almost the same age as me. Alright? Yes, you're a little bit younger. Okay? I understand you're 27, but still. You may only be a little bit younger than me. But you have openly said to me that you've got this guy that is willing to do anything for you, and yet you're looking and you're putting him in the friend zone. Don't get me wrong, there are specific reasons for the friend zone, but I'm not talking about the friend zone as in like the people that you just, that are friends with, that are guys that you muck around with. I'm talking about that one person that you were talking to me about, that you constantly are on the phone to. There is, and I will tell you this, there is only so much you can slam that door in that face, in their face, in that moment. No matter what, there is only so much that person is going to take, because eventually they will, and I mean it, they will sit there and go, what else can I do? I can't do any more than what I'm doing. I can't be there any more than what I'm doing. I'm not going to just barge in and make you sit there and go, like, fall for me. I'm not going to do that, because you can't. Being the outside person when all you are chasing, like, you're chasing stars. The moon's right there, and yet you're chasing the stars. The moon's always going to be there. It has to be there. The stars that you're chasing, they're already dwindled out before they even hit the earth. So you tell me, after sitting here and listening to this from an outside perspective so you can actually see my attitude and the way that I'm talking to you, okay? Tell me something. What are you thinking about right now? Who's that person you're thinking of calling? Because I bet you it sure as hell ain't the guy that's been stuffing you around. So you can sit back and you can hate me all you like. You can tell me that I hate you because you're right, or I hate you because you're wrong, or I hate you because you're so opinionated, or I hate you because of this. Let me tell you something. Hate takes as much effort as love. Hating a person requires as much effort as love. If you cannot be bothered with that person, then obviously you really don't like him. But if you sit there and go, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, think about it. I mean, seriously? Who are you thinking of calling right now? I'll talk to you later. Be safe and be kind to each other. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.